Hi, I'm Rob Pieper, founder of Responsive Advisors, and I'm a professional Scrum trainer. Today, I want to talk about Scrum problems and how we know we're mitigating risk using Scrum. There are 5 ways that I'm going to talk about here in order of what I believe are importance. Leave a comment down below if you think I got it all wrong here.
Thank you!
So it's really easy to put labels on a Scrum team. We've seen Scrum Masters, product owners, I got a product backlog, I got developers, I got all these labels. But how do I know it's actually working? And as a team member, you should know this. As a manager, you should definitely know this. And as a stakeholder, we need to understand how this works before we're going to be comfortable attending sprint reviews. So let's get into it. 5 ways you know Scrum is helping you manage your risks. In chronological order, the first feedback loop we have are daily scrums. In sprint planning, you established a sprint goal. The entire team is focused on that goal. Wouldn't it just make sense to stop every now and again and make sure we're going to achieve that goal? And that's the whole point of the daily scrum. It's a brief checkpoint where we stop, take a look at where we're at, and make sure that we're going on the right track. If we are not, we change directions. Water break. Some of you may be conducting a daily scrum like with 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? What are you going to do today? Do you have any impediments? That's kind of an entry-level way of conducting it. But looking at your sprint goal and seeing where you're at right now and figuring out if we're off track, that's really what you need to be talking about in that daily scrum. The next feedback loop I want to talk about is the sprint review. So in the sprint review, we hang out with our stakeholders. The product owner's there, the developers are there, the Scrum Master is there. And basically what we're trying to do is figure out if we are on the right track building this product. If you build some features nobody likes, it's sure great to know in that sprint review before we release them. Sprint reviews don't just catch problems, but they also catch opportunities. Let's say you're building a solution that just blows the mind of your stakeholders. And they tell you, wow, if we could just put this into production with a slightly different version, we might capture a whole new audience that we never even imagined. That would be a good thing. So remember, sprint reviews are feedback loops. They capture opportunities for improvements we might not have thought about for the product, but they also capture mistakes that we're making so we don't make them for too long and create cost overruns or delays or all kinds of different problems. Worst case scenario, building a product nobody wants. Be sure nice to know that a lot sooner. That's the point of a sprint review, and that's how we manage risk using it. So, if you're writing... All right, in terms of feedback loops, there's one more I want to talk about, and that is your sprint retrospective. That event has the entire Scrum team attending, including your product owner, your developers, your Scrum Master, the whole Scrum team. Your stakeholders have already gone home for the day, but the whole point here is that the team is going to get together and find something to improve. What we improve could come from anywhere. People, relationships, how we get along, how can we make this job more interesting? It could come from tools. Are we using the right tool? Is it too cumbersome? Are we missing things? Could we use more automation? Could we use better test quality? Other things that might be included are our usage of the Scrum framework. How can we get better at using it? One big thing you should really consider in your sprint retrospectives is your definition of done. Is it appropriate for the product? Does it need more clarity? Does it need an enhancement? All right, well, let's move on to number 2, the increment. The increment actually contains risk in many ways. So for those of you unaware of what the increment means in Scrum, it's just simply the new version of your product. Increments are always releasable, meaning I could give this to my customer, I could go home and sleep at night and not be stressed. That means you've tested it. That means you've documented it. That means you've integration tested it. You've smoke tested it. All the things that you feel need to be done before you can feel comfortable giving that to your customer at the end of the evening. Increments are always built to the right quality level, and you as a Scrum team get to decide what that quality level is if it's not established by your organization already. Your increment has all the scope necessary to solve a problem. It meets your sprint goal. Remember that. An increment meets a sprint goal. It has no more, no less than what's necessary to do so. All right, let's talk about number 3, and that is prioritization. In Scrum, we manage a lot of risks by just making sure we have a prioritized product backlog. The product owner accountability in Scrum is completely responsible for making sure we have a prioritized product backlog. The whole point is to maximize value, so let's do the first things first and other things later. What you're looking for in prioritization is making sure that the nice-to-haves we're going to do later. The most important, most impactful things we're going to do soon. By ordering that backlog, we contain risk of doing the wrong thing or doing the right thing at the wrong time. That can be very expensive. If you like this video, remember to hit that like button. And if you want more of our latest videos, hit subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. All right, and the fourth thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, is stakeholder involvement. Stakeholders help us make sure we're on the right track. By attending those sprint reviews, they're going to give us lots of ideas and feedback. If we're on the wrong track with an idea, we'll know soon. If there's something more we could be doing or better we could be doing, we're going to know that soon as well. Who are stakeholders? They could be your users. They could be your customers. They could be the security team. They could be legal. They could be HR. It could be finance. It could be whoever cares about what it is that you're building, and their feedback would be instrumental in making sure you're building the right thing at the right time. So dig deep when it comes to finding stakeholders. One of the biggest problems I see, stakeholders don't show up to your sprint review, or there's like one of them. Or even worse, we consider the product owner somehow a stakeholder and the Scrum team presents to them during sprint review. Stakeholders are the people who care about what it is you're building, and they're not on your Scrum team. All right, and the fifth way that we mitigate risk using Scrum is through the definition of done. The definition of done describes quality. It describes completeness. It's how we know that an increment is actually releasable. Work that does not meet your definition of done is not released.
Cast it into the fire! Destroy it!
Work that does not meet your definition of done doesn't even get presented at a sprint review. But why? So we don't confuse our stakeholders with what is complete and what is incomplete. Remember, we're trying to mitigate risk, so producing increments and showing them at sprint reviews is a big piece of it. Your definition of done tells us when we have something that can be presented at a sprint review. All right, so there you have it. 5 ways we contain risk using Scrum.